Happy Sunday, everyone. I hope you're doing well. It's nice outside. It's like 65 degrees. It's feeling a little bit like spring, a little bit more like spring. All right, let's get into the video. So with recent news of COVID-19 and stay-at-home thing extending until the end of May, I know a lot of people have talked to me or shared this idea of them losing hope. Hope just seems so fleeting, right? I mean, 1 minute we're hoping that at the end of this month everything will be over, and then we hear this news where we have to wait until the next month and now we have to build up a little bit more hope. It just seems like what is the point of hoping? All of us have been hoping that the president will say something that'll let us out of the quarantine that we're in, or we've been hoping that the Illinois governor will say something that'll give us some relief, a time to be able to exhale and be like, okay, this is ending. As of last week, we've learned this idea of not trying to control our situation and really being content in the moment and understanding that God is in control. But sometimes what it takes for us to be able to have that idea, to have that stance, is to have hope. In a time of affliction like this, in a time of trial like this, sometimes we can wonder, where can we even go to find hope? If the government's not going to give it to us with news about COVID, or if we can't seem to find any other source of hope, where do we go for hope? I have an idea. Romans 12, 9 through 13 says this: "Love must be sincere. Hate what is evil. Cling to what is good. Be devoted to one another in love. Honor one another above yourselves. Never be lacking in zeal, but keep your spiritual fervor serving the Lord. Be joyful in hope, patient in affliction, faithful in prayer. Share with the Lord's people who are in need. Practice hospitality." There's a lot going on in this verse, right? It talks about love, it talks about hope, it talks about affliction, it talks about joy. There's just a whole lot of words getting thrown around in here, right? But there's a portion that I really want to pull out for a second and just look at. Be joyful in hope. It doesn't say that your hope will provide joy. It says be joyful in hope. It's crazy how two words flipped around can mean a completely different thing. Placing your hope in joy is dangerous, because when you don't have joy, when you don't have happiness, you don't have hope. But if you put your joy inside of your hope, you can enhance your hope with joy. I know, it's crazy. I know it's a lot to wrap your mind around. It's insane. Think about it this way. You know how people like putting lime in water? They take like a slice of lime or a slice of lemon and they put it in their water and it enhances the flavor of the water. Well, let's think of joy as the lemon and hope as the water. If we take our joy and we put it in the water of hope, it enhances the flavor of our hope. Now let's take this reverse. If we took our hope and dumped it on the lemon, hoping that it will enhance the flavor of the lemon, and we bit into the lemon, what's it gonna taste like? A lemon, a sour, gross lemon. Does that make sense now? I hope that analogy helped. Joy in and of itself is not enough. Joy enhances a product. Joy is like sugar, it's like salt. That in of itself is not substance, but it enhances, it makes whatever we're doing better. So if we have hope, which is substantial, because we have hope in who? Jesus Christ, right? We have hope in God. We have hope that He's gonna make all this stuff better, right? That's who we should have our hope in. Then having joy just enhances that hope that we have. I mean, think about how many times you've been happy over the course of your life, right? Maybe it was at your 8th birthday party, or maybe it was when your friends got together and hung out and it was a really good time. You had a good, joyous time. Maybe it's something you got for Christmas just brought you great joy. Maybe a text message that you received or a meme that you got. All those things produce joy, right? They produce happiness. Well, let me ask you this, how long did it last? Probably not much longer than that day, at the very maximum that week. Well, that's because joy can be fleeting. But the one thing that never fails, the one thing that we can always trust in, the one that we can always put our hope in, is God. God our Father in heaven. Not the news media, not the president, God alone. He's the one that is never gonna let us down. He's the one that we can always put our hope in. He's the one that we can be joyous in because he is our hope. So remember this, if you're like, okay, I don't know what's going on, and you're gonna have to rewind, just remember this portion, okay? If our hope is in our joy, then our hope might not last that long. But if there's joy in our hope, now we're on to something. Guys, hang tough. I know we keep extending this thing, but it's going to end. I promise you it will. It will end. We're not gonna be cooped up in our houses forever. Just hold on to the hope that we have in Christ Jesus. Hold on to the hope that we know that God is the Father of all things, that he's the foundation, and that he knows what's going on. He's got this under control. Let's hope in Christ. Well, that's all I have for you, fellas and ladies. I hope that you enjoyed this. I hope that it helped you to hope, and I hope that you have a great day. See you later.